Well, there were more tremors throughout the Pacific this morning, 5.9 magnitude, enough to unsettle an island already on edge, and Samoa is. We were there this week. We watched as they cleaned up, and amongst the broken buildings and broken lives, we got an insight into something else. People, just ordinary folks, stepping up to do the remarkable with big hearts and bare hands. Tuesday, 6:48 a.m. local. Samoa rocked to its core by the 8.3 magnitude quake.
Oh, hell no!
7:32 a.m. the tsunami hits. The death toll, 183 and rising. In the following days, ordinary people will step up to help. Ordinary people will become extraordinary. We chance on Josie and her mother Iuni Sapolu at an internet cafe. They're over from South Auckland.
It didn't hit me until I saw children. I saw the bodies of so many young children, and that was it.
And you felt you just had to do something.
Absolutely.
And so they did, off their own bat and out of their own pocket. Iuni, Josie, her boyfriend, and a nephew. Machetes, shovels, food. They loaded up the car and headed out of Apia on the journey to the battered southwest.
I'm very lucky that I have a son who plays rugby for Manu Samoa, and he's in England, and he sent me all the money that I spent. And the things he says, Mom, it's not a time to be frugal. It's a time to give.
I've never seen so many dead bodies at the hospital, and there were so many dead bodies to the point where they had converted the chapel into a morgue. It was not just sad but also very shocking experience for me, because I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
And it was just the start.
I'm just amazed at how powerful the tsunami was. It was able to break through these cement foundations, and not just break through the top, but even right down through to the bottom of them, really. Look at the one next door, it's completely gone.
They, like so many volunteers, just pitched in. It's been grisly work.
Not too far from where we were digging and removing debris, 3 children were found. One was quite disfigured, and they had to be buried quickly.
Nearby, 15 New Zealand police and dogs joined Samoan officers to comb what's left of the village of Saleapaga. None of it can come soon enough for Iuni and Josie and the family, because up till now it's been pretty much up to them and volunteers like them to locate bodies, to bury bodies, and to help clean up the wreckage here, because the people that actually live here, the villagers, they're too traumatized to do it themselves.
How are you, Silla?
Visit the Apia hospital and you soon understand why Iuni and Josie have come to see members of the Tofor family. They lost 4 generations.
13 in my family, and I'm one of the survivors. I was swept away. I'm floating for about an hour and a half, yelling out for someone to come and rescue me.
With her 3 daughters, Lumipa desperately tried to escape.
I thought I was going to die, and I kept floating, and the water was very dark.
Little Ngalo was separated from her mum and washed away.
She said to me, Mommy, I was screaming in the water, and then I had a sleep. And then a stick, it hit my eye, and she's touching her eye, and she said, my eye, and I couldn't see.
But her older daughter, Moanale, drowned. They believe she still communicates with them.
Anyway, this one woke up. The first thing she said after I asked her, are you okay? And she said to me, Moanale is fine. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. she's happy and she's with somebody else.
In their day jobs, Josie and Iuni are barristers at law, legal aid lawyers registered in New Zealand and Samoa. They're well used to acting for the poor and desperate. Here they do it for free. But the tsunami, it's touched them like never before.
When you see those children and those parents with nothing, you just want to share your resources with them.
And the resources they've been sharing in the field extend far beyond just helping with the cleanup. Those photos Josie's taking, she's been uploading them for a worldwide community.
I thought, well, we need to get this information out to people who are living overseas. They want to know what's going on. They want to know, it's all good saying it through words over the phone and on the internet, but you really need to push the visual images because that's where people see the impact.
The results have been deeply affecting. In the rubble of Saleapaga, they've been salvaging what they can.
Looks like somebody's lava.
And in the thick of it, Josie stumbled on a suitcase of photos. Do you know whose they are? Do you know who these people are?
No, we actually don't.
But they've heard the family may have fled to the hills. But you don't know who's dead or who's alive?
We just know that this lady here died as a result of the tsunami.
She was swept away along with her daughter and granddaughter after the break.
So this is very, very important for us to have this back.
Treasured possessions are returned home and we travel to the island that got left behind.
We are totally being forgotten by the government.
Before Tuesday last week, Harry Lee was just another face in the crowd in Apia, but the tsunami changed all that.
I think it's something that came spontaneously. It just happened. I'm not a good Samaritan or a hero in any form. No way.
Maybe not, but Harry Lee spontaneously chose to load up with supplies, food, water, tools, and look for the first available boat. We're along for the ride to the island of Manono, population 1,200, a tiny speck just off the coast. There are no cars here, no tractors, bikes, dogs. Tranquil Manono was also hammered.
I heard on the radio a mayor from one of the villages in Manono on radio talking and describing the damage in Manono.
So you thought to yourself, I've got to help, I've got to do something.
I decided to get as much as I can with what I have at home, like in terms of tools, and I had a bit of money on me, so I just look at the basic needs for the people of Manono. Yeah.
We reach the resort village of Lepuiai. You can see for yourself, this is last Sunday, and for days already they've been without basic services. We're the first media crew in. The supplies are so welcome.
I think it's the natural instinct. I think a lot of people have done the same thing during these past few days. So. These are all for you. We brought some tools, also some perishables.
But for this family, Harry is special. Hear their stories of the day. They match so many others.
There's more to come.
So when I saw the waves a little bit moving out, so that's the time I'm just calling all my children, my wife, and just grab my grandson, try to grab running like
this. So a nephew was swept away, but miraculously made it back. One islander was killed. They call this track the motorway here on the island. It's the main thoroughfare. But of course, there are no cars. There is no heavy engineering. The only sound is the sound of the chickens and the wind, really. That's about it. It's as quiet as it gets. So you can imagine on the day just how terrifying the noise really was. First the earthquake, no one can remember the likes, it lasted up to 3 minutes they reckon, and then the waves themselves, like so many bulldozers bearing down on them as the earth churned and turned. In church, the island resounds to hymns of praise and thanks. The message is about faith, keeping the faith at a time of so many questions. Why us? Why our village? The memories are still hyper-vivid. That's incredible, isn't it? That's new concrete, 1 year old.
Yeah, this is a 1 year old concrete. And look at this and thus tells us that's how strong the tsunami was.
Agnes Crichton is an English teacher. Her new home destroyed. What was in here? Bedrooms?
4 bedrooms, the indoor toilet and bathroom. And look, nothing left. Totally gone. All gone.
Their water tanks shunted off foundations and broken. Families sharing whatever shelters are still standing. The island's main source of income has been crippled. This island depends on commercial fishing, and look what's happened to much of the fleet. They're high and dry here, and as the days have rolled by, so has grown frustration and anger. They feel like the forgotten victims of the tsunami. And here's why. They were left with no power, no running water, as the relief effort seemed to focus everywhere else but here.
It's more like we had been left over, left forgotten by our own government, our own people.
Will you stay?
We're still in doubt of what to do. The next step after the tsunami, it's more like we don't feel like living and staying on this island anymore.
Are there any other stuff that you need just to help you around here?
A lot of things we need, but...
Help is getting to Manono now very slowly, and it's picking up. But I believe that in the long term, Manono needs a lot of assistance.
The first of that help came from one man who chose to be bigger than himself.
I'm pretty sure there are lots of Harrys out there who are not being exposed through media like I am. And I take my hat off to those people.
High above the ravaged village of Saleapaga on the main island, something special is about to unfold.
Yeah.
This is where terrified survivors have set up makeshift camps. They're too traumatized to return to the foreshore.
Well, we found these things, these pictures. Do you know anyone in the pictures?
Yeah, that's her that passed away also.
Oh.
There, and the baby, and her baby. There's a baby.
Oh, really? All three.
It couldn't be more poignant. Josie and Iuni are reuniting the photos they found down below with the family.
This is very, very important for us to have this back for us. It's a big memory for us, for our mom, sister.
It was only yesterday they buried all 3 here.
You have something, as simple as a photograph returned to those who have survived the tsunami. It's basically like gold, really.
The gentleman whose wife and daughter and mother-in-law died, he had tears. He was hiding behind black glasses, and then he took it, and I thought, he says, man, thank you so much for bringing these back to us, because these are treasured memories of my wife and my daughter.
As daylight fades, life pulses to a different beat on the hills over Saleapaga. They're mostly uninsured, and there will be no handout from the government. How many people will be eating this tonight?
About 40-something.
So what have we got here? Chicken?
Chicken and the soya soy sauce. They are safe over here.
And help is on its way from New Zealand, Australia and beyond. Well, night has fallen on the survivors of Saleapaga, and as you can see, it's another night in the open, another night of mosquitoes, another night of dust of the winds blowing. Having spent time with the people here, you're struck by the incredible quiet dignity of them. The dignity in handling loss, the dignity in handling hardship, and there's a quiet peace here too, a peace amongst all the sadness that those who died have gone on to greater things.